Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to speak about how do you know who to accept. Now, I don't know about you guys, but you will get a build-up of connection requests if you have set up your LinkedIn profile correctly, if people can find you through your keywords, through descriptions, etc. on your profile, you get a build-up. Now, my connection request list gets quite full. I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, it's actually quite hard to manage and handle to sort of filter through people who I want to connect with, and I do need to set aside quite a bit of time every week to go through this list. On average, I get around 100 requests a week. So if you imagine having to open up 100 tabs and going through each tab, each profile, responding to each message that people send when it's a personalized request, and then filtering through who I actually want to decline or accept, it can get a little bit tiring, and it's not a hard task to do. It's just the same process over and over again. Obviously, it's great because I get to connect with loads of new people, but I know that a lot of other people on LinkedIn have this problem. Doesn't mean that you have to have loads of connection requests, but it's also just being able to tell the difference between a good prospect or someone who maybe isn't worth adding to your network. Now, there are a few obvious signs before I get into the other ones. If someone hasn't personalized a connection request, it doesn't mean straight out that you should ignore it. I tend to only accept people that have personalized it, just because it tends to be the people that I can engage with in a conversation more, unless they seem like a really good prospect. And you can normally tell that from the headline, like who they are, if they're my ideal prospect in my ideal industry or in my ideal seniority position, or from a cool company that I would like to engage with, then I will accept them even if they haven't used a personalized connection request. That doesn't mean complete write-off. One thing that mainly is like a big put off is if they don't have a profile photo. So normally if they don't have a profile photo, I'll decline straight away. If I look on their profile and they have like 50 connections, no profile photo, their profile's half filled out, I'm not gonna connect with them unless it's someone who's actually like a friend or somebody that I've met and I know who it is. I'm not gonna accept them, just because if they haven't got a complete profile and if they've only got 50 people that have connected with them, it might mean that they've just set up the profile. But if you are setting up a profile, make sure that you get the main bits filled out straight away, because even if you only have 50 connections but you've got everything else filled out, your experience is linked to an actual company with employees, or you've got a good about section, then people are still going to connect with you because everybody's got to start from somewhere. But if the profile's partially filled out, most of the time I'm not going to accept that person. They're probably not going to be a good quality prospect, and it's hard to get much from them anyway. So why would you want to add them to your network, because they're probably not that active on LinkedIn? So that's another like easy way to dismiss a profile. Another way is by you should probably do this right now actually. I would pause this video and just on a piece of paper, line paper, plain paper, whatever, just note down a bunch of key characteristics that your ideal prospect has. So by ideal characteristics, so it could be the industry that they belong to, the type of company size, if it's an owner, or actually it could be any sort of seniority level, position, how big the company is that they work for, unless they work for themselves as like a solo entrepreneur, company size, industry, location, so geography, whereabouts they're based in the world, keywords in their title, specific skill sets that they have. Note down all of these different things and then use them as commonalities that you can identify in profiles. So this is what I do. Obviously, I know it. When you know your target industry well, you know your target prospect inside out, you're not going to need to look at the list. But for now, use that list, open up the connection requests that you have, and then basically have a mini checklist where you're looking for those characteristics and those qualities in the profile that would pre-qualify them to be a good prospect for yourself. And then you kind of know who to accept, what your ideal profile starts to look like, because obviously what you've written down on the piece of paper, you might find out more things from profile research. So if you find a profile that matches your completely perfect ideal prospect, have a look through that profile for any more things that you could extract from it, and then look for those things in all your other profiles. Also, side tip, if you have Sales Navigator, if you find a perfect prospect, open them, view them in Sales Navigator, and then you can use the 3 little dots on the side, click that, and then there'll be an option which says view similar, and then you can view similar profiles and it'll show you a bunch of profiles that match those characteristics, which is another cool tip. So yeah, I hope this video helped. I hope if you have a long list of pending connection requests that this helps you clear them out, because I know it's definitely something that I struggled with for quite a long time. Still takes me a long time, but these are the sort of tips and tricks that I use to help me filter through those requests much quicker. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments down below if this video was useful for you or not, and I will see you in the next one.